is the only place in Washington where you can do it all in one day. Roller coasters, thrill rides, wave pool, lazy river, and water slides. And now open the brand new Mountain Dew Triple Slide Complex. Save up to $12 on daily admission. Buy your discount tickets from select Safeway and Albertsons locations or at wildwaves.com. It's time to ride and slide this summer at Wild Waves Theme Park.
While some look the world over for the right car, there is one dealer in the Northwest with the absolute best deals and an inventory so large it can be seen from space.
We order the largest inventory so our customers have the best selection.
And our low prices and great service have kept us #1.
Right now, you can get a brand new all-wheel drive Genesis starting at $32,975. Call or visit us today at HyundaiofKirkland.com.
Some cashback cards make things so complicated. They limit where you earn bonus cashback. Here's the way I see it. You are point A, and your cashback is point B. The simple way between them, the Quicksilver card from Capital One. Quicksilver earns you unlimited 1.5% cashback on every purchase everywhere. I said unlimited everywhere. Now that's more like it. What's in your wallet?
Call the plumber.
Oh, stop freaking. I'll call Beacon.
Beacons is the company you can rely on. Once you call them, you will never, ever call anyone else.
Next time you have a plumbing problem, don't start freaking. Call Beacon Plumbing.
That's a lovely picture, isn't it? The log boom here on Lake Washington. If you're just joining us as we're approaching 1 o'clock in the afternoon, where have you been? We've been on the air since 9 a.m., and all those folks have been out there partying since well before that, as 2015's Seafair is rolling right along here on the shores of Lake Washington. We've shown you racing from yesterday. We have had live racing here today. We've got more to come, including the championship for the Graham Trucking Cup, as well as the Albert Lee Appliance Seafair Cup. But part of the story right now, with the kind of the break between portions of the air show, is the party that continues out on the log boom. And those boats are just loaded with folks who are having a lovely time. And on this Sunday, there's probably been all sorts of parties and talking about Seahawks football and diving into the water and all the rest. It is just a great time had by all, including our Gary Horker, who is standing by as well with more. Again, Gary, it's rough duty, but somebody's got to do it, my friend.
Somebody's got to get this rough duty. I got to tell you, I'm aboard the Island Caper. It's a 4-level boat. Check what they've got here. They've got cedar plank salmon. They've got local oysters soaked in butter. Oh man, look at that! Right out of Samish Bay. Look at that. We're going to come right back here, and we're going to back up because it's tight quarters. This is about the only place that I can hear because there's a band up on the top. That's where the real mosh pit is. But down here on this deck is Captain Doan Brody of the Island Caper. Tell me how long you've been doing this, Captain.
40 years. I've been retired, but I've been running this for 3 seasons for Terry Buzzard, a friend of mine with Island Mariner Cruises.
Now, we've described this as the largest floating party in the United States. You believe that from what you've experienced, huh?
I'd say that, yeah, we've got that hands down pretty well.
There's a band here. There's got to be, 130 people aboard the boat?
Yeah. The capacity is 133, so we can't take more than that.
And this is one of many boats. Hey, Gary Chris is over here. Gary Chris is the guy who hired this boat out. Gary's joining me live here. I'm going to get on this side. Gary, describe this party for the people who aren't aboard here.
So this is a party for International Airline. So we put it on every year, Customers Appreciation Day. So we got airlines from Australia, Europe, Iceland, all around the continent. We just do it, Indonesia.
It's like the UN on a boat.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, it's a big party too.
Yeah, but it's good to see Seattle in this Seafair. I've been doing it for 30 plus years, and to see the people from around the world come out here and appreciate the day. So it's good, and I love Seattle, and I want to see it grow. Seafair 2015 is great.
You know, and so far so good. The weather, thanks Morgan Palmer. I mean, not only is the air temperature perfect, but nobody's complaining about the water either. Check out all the people out in the water. Anything that floats, anything that you could stick to that floats and floats your beverage, is going to be welcome out here. And we're going to be coming out to you throughout the afternoon. The best part about being on the water is the shake in the lake when the Blue Angels come soaring overhead. And we're going to show you what that's like, too. Gary, that's an amazing thing, isn't it?
Yes, very good. Everybody's standing on board waiting for it to happen.
It's worth the price of admission.
Gary,
back to you, Steve.
Gary, one thing I want you to point out, turn right around again, back there out to the water. We saw a police boat go by. It may still be within your sight. Again, one of the important things, they keep everybody safe out there on the waters.
Right here, the police boat. Yeah, that's right, Steve, exactly. They've been keeping an eye on things. But people, I have to say, throughout the history of this, I talked to a guy who's been out here for 41 years, and he said people are amazingly behaved. I mean, this is, it seems insane on the surface, but people are really they're acting very mature, and I haven't seen them having to do too many, make any arrests or have to keep people out of order. So right now, so far so good. Everybody's floating out here and having a great time on the mosh pit flotilla on the water. Steve, back to you.
All right, Gary, thanks, and we hope everyone has a continued safe and sane weekend here on the shores of Lake Washington. I'm Steve Rabel from Cairo 7 Television, and you're watching our Cairo 7 and CairoTV.com live continuing coverage of Seafair 2015. We've been out on the log boom. We've been watching with Morgan Palmer the air show up above, and don't go away because certainly the Navy Blue Angels, one of the biggest parts of all of Seafair, coming up in just a bit. We want to also go to Jesse Jones, who's been following things for us here along the shoreline as families have been arriving. And Jesse, as you have told us and we have seen, this is really a family affair. This entire weekend is just fun for the whole gang.
You know, the coolest thing about this is that not only do you have one generation, 2 generations, 3 generations, we've seen as many as 4 generations here at Seafair. And even if you look there, you'll find them in the stands. And here's what I love. Why don't you head on up to that house? There are probably several generations sitting in that house. But in the end, this event is about friends and family. At Seafair, it's about tradition and family.
My son Dan, my sister Glenda, my granddaughter Haley.
Dan and Kathleen Howard have been married for 55 years. This is her first Seafair. Dan hasn't been back since the late 50s.
I got to see all the slow-mo boats and all that when the Joneses ran them boats, as I remember right in them days.
And now you come out, it looks totally different, huh?
Yeah, it does. It's nice. We love Lake Washington.
And in between kids sliding down hills and bringing their favorite flotation devices, a connection is being made.
The 3rd generation coming to the shores. My mom's been coming since 1950 when it first started.
Tommy San Jose has come to 30 Seafairs. He brought his 2.5-year-old daughter, Tiana. You see yourself coming here with her for years and years to come.
Yeah, and hopefully my grandkids and those kids after that if I'm still alive. So, but yeah, never not going to miss this.
And I don't think I'm ever going to miss it as long as I work here at Cairo. But here's the thing. I'm going to make sure I bring my daughter here next year because this is such a cool event, and bring her down to see the pits, to take her over on the shore. I love this. I'll be back next year. I'll bring my daughter. I'll bring my wife. This is a great time. Monique and Steve.
Hey, Jesse, you've been coming to these events. You've been around this area a long time. What's your favorite thought, maybe favorite memory of Seafair past?
You know, the last time I came was a long time ago, and I'll tell you what it was I was young. I didn't know anything about Seafair. It was like my first real crowd event, and I lost my buddy, man. And the most poignant part was I'm going around trying to find my friend Mike Halseth. And Mike, I know you're out there watching. Trying to find him in this crowd was one thing. But I'll tell you what's been poignant is watching the families here. They set up in a row. They have a system. They've been coming for years. They eat the same things. They drink the same things. And they teach their young ones to do the same. And that, to me, is the most touching thing I've seen since I've been here.
All right, Jesse. Well, it's great. It is a great tradition, and you showed us one of those houses just a moment ago. Those parties have gone on, as you said, for generations up in the houses that overlook the water as well. So thanks. Keep
I'm climbing up that hill here in a minute, though, dog.
Bring something back for all of us, my friend.
You got it.
It is always one of the great parts of Seafair. Meantime, let's take a look around. Let's Doug Wetz, our fine director, or actually the only one that we could find today that wasn't working, is going to show us some pictures from around the log boom just to give give you a sense. And again, this is such an expansive area that we have talking about here along the shores of Lake Washington. If you've not been down here, I-90 borders us on the north and Seward Park on the south. And in between, we have the Ted Jones Race Course. We have the Stan Sayers Pits, this log boom. And now you see I-90 has closed and has been closed for a little bit now because of the Breitling team and because of the Blue Angels. But it is great because the DOT allows fans to step out, walk down the freeway. You don't get this opportunity to stand on the East High Rise and watch the Blue Angels show. And that's going to be coming up in just a few moments. Meantime, we're also talking about boat racing, and that continues through the afternoon. And along with us now, Chip Hanauer, who has left his position here on the start-finish tower and has moved into the pits to talk to a couple of the drivers. Chip?
I'm here with a very dear friend, Jean Theoret. We go back a long time. I have huge respect for this man. In Quebec, he's a god. Canadian Motorsports Hall of Fame. You're in kind of a tough spot right now.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we've been there before in 06 and with the Schumachers, but God willing, we'll make it through and we'll make it to the final.
Now let's talk about 2006. Things looked exactly the same. I think you were in trouble because I think you missed a buoy or hit a buoy then?
Yeah, we hit a buoy. We had skid fin issues and things like that. We had very little points, to make it to the final, but we pulled out of it. We had a really good last heat race and won it, and then we made it to the final.
I think what people don't understand about this man is this is when he performs his best. And I think the respect I have for him, I'm very grateful in my career that I didn't have to race him. I never did have to race him. This is when you see the best of Jean Theoret. And how does that happen? I mean, I've seen you do it a number of times. Your back is completely against the wall. It looks over, and you pull out like two amazing heats.
Yeah, I really can't answer that question. I really don't know. But when I'm, like you said, when my back's pushed to the wall, we usually get a good performance out of it. I'm also a Christian. I believe in God, and sometimes miracles do happen.
And tell them, what do you feel right now? I mean, with your back against the wall, big race. I mean, what do you feel emotionally? Are you nervous? Are you scared? Are you angry? What do you feel?
Well, I'm disappointed in myself, because this last race it was my mistake. The team's giving me a really good piece of equipment, and I made a mistake. So I'm feeling disappointed with myself. But my spirits are so high. I still want to fight, and I just want to make it to the final.
The last guy you ever want to think is out is this man right here. Watch him in his next heat. It'll be amazing.
All right, Chip, thanks very much. One of the real gentlemen, actually two gentlemen right there in Jean Theoret and Chip Hanauer, two great drivers in this hydroplane, this business of hydroplane racing. We got a little trivia for you. We asked you this question a bit earlier in the morning. We're going to continue to get your responses, and this is a tough question. As I told Monique earlier, I'm not sure if I even know the answer to this. What sparked the idea for the Seafair Festival? The original idea, was it A, the establishment of the Miss Seafair, Miss Seattle, pageant, which became Miss Seafair, the cleanup efforts of Lake Washington, the 100th anniversary of Seattle's founding, or a voter-approved Seattle Summer Festival levy? Tweet us your best guess using the hashtag Seafair, and we will bring you the correct answer later this afternoon. Seafair Trivia, presented by Bartell Drugs, treating Washington well since 1890 with 64 convenient locations. You are looking at the Air Combat Command F-22 demonstration team at Langley Air Force Base. This is an F-22 Raptor. It is amazing what this jet can do. It teams up with Air Force Heritage Flight Exhibit, as well as operating solo. And this is an amazing program flown here over the shores of Lake Washington. We can't even begin to give you a sense of how loud that is on television, but we're going to try. Listen for just a couple of seconds here and watch the F-22 Raptor.
you are going to be stealthy, you must have a clean profile, requiring all of your bombs and missiles to be carried internally.
That voice you hear in the background is the narrator that is heard all around the pit area watching this F-22 Raptor perform here at Lake Washington. When we come back, our Chip Hanauer is with more drivers in the pits talking about the upcoming race. The pressure as the championship awaits here at Seafair. Don't go away.
You're watching the 2015 Albert Lee Appliance Seafair Cup, presented by Ford of Kirkland, your official dealer of Seafair on Cairo 7.
You're still here.
I'm still here.
Phew. What would we do without Jesse Jones?
You heard right. Jesse's back.
I'll be doing the same thing, only better. Only better.
Watch him on his new home.
You know, I switched. I'm in Cairo now.
Jesse made the switch, so should you.
Are you going to watch us on Cairo? Oh, you bet. You're awesome.
Jesse Jones on Cairo 7 Eyewitness News.
Came in and did a cool Jesse Jones thing and got her money back. And it was sweet.
All you have to do is just tune in and watch, and then we're good.
When you have big plumbing problems, call day or night.
Lynch, we've got another one. Repeat customer.
I'm on my way.
Call Beacon Plumbing, Heating, and Mechanical for 24/7 same-day service.
Oh, thank you so much. Come on in.
Look at this mess you done made.
Thank you, Beast. This is amazing.
For all your plumbing, heating, sewer, and electrical needs 24/7, call Sietta's winning team and go beast mode on your plumbing problem.
Hey, wait. Stop freaking. Call Beacon.
It's the recon mission for Tango 165. The endless search for the best berries. A midnight run for Tacos El Pastor. And the empty roads of Dawn Patrol. This is summer driving. If driving matters to you, come to the Mazda Summer Drive event, where we'll make your first 2 payments on any new 2015 Mazda.
It took Tim Morehouse years to master the perfect lunge. But only one attempt to master depositing checks at Chase ATMs. Technology designed for you, so you can easily master the way you bank.
Clouds lifting here over the shores of Lake Washington. Just a gorgeous day. Temperatures are supposed to get up to about 90 degrees as that F-22 Raptor continues to perform behind us. And there you see the city within a city. This is the pit area down at Stan Sayers pits. There is a medical facility there. There is food service, and there are enough mechanics and engineer types that can put a plane in the air. They actually keep those boats floating on the water for their drivers. And with them, our champion driver, Chip Hanauer, talking to the Oberto team pilot. That's Jimmy Shane. And Chip, there's got to be a lot of emotion in that team, what with the Oberto name going away off the hydroplanes coming up after this season.
Absolutely. And there's a lot of emotion in the pit. And when you're mentioned about medical staff, at my age, I never go anywhere unless there is medical staff. So I'm here with Jimmy Shane. Jimmy, I think you have found a perfect balance of being aggressive and staying out of trouble. Where does that come from? Where'd you learn that?
I think it comes from my years of experience racing in the smaller outboard classes. You know, those outboard boats are very, very close in speed together. So you have to, first of all, stay clean on the race course. And secondly, you have to push the boat to its limits, no matter what position you're in. And I think that me growing up as a driver like that, it's translated into the unlimited category of being very aggressive, but at the same time, not making mistakes to set our team back when it's in a bad spot.
I always felt that a driver's job is much like a doctor, the Hippocratic Oath, first do no damage. You seem to drive that way.
Yeah, our first key always is to bring the boat back safe in one piece. If we get out in front and we have a good heat going, we're going to push the boat, try to get the win, and that's what we're here to do. We're here to win races. We're here to get the Oberto name out on the race course, and I'll tell you what, we have a very, very good race boat this weekend.
So, do we see a different Jimmy Shane in the final than we do in the elimination heats, or the same?
You know, we have a couple game plans that we have stashed here in our truck in our secret lair, and But all that gets thrown away when the final comes around. You have to play off of what the other guys are doing. You have to adjust on the fly. And I think that we have a very good, we do that as a team very well. And we're setting ourselves up to be one of the top boats here in the final at Seafair.
They've not left anything to chance. Jimmy's got a backup driver. His name is Jack. Jack, you have your life jacket on. Are you going to jump in there?
Definitely.
And you're a J-Stock Hydro driver, is that right?
Yes.
What's a J-Stock Hydro?
It is a smaller boat with a 15-horse engine on the back that kids everywhere race.
And someday you want to do this?
Yes, very bad.
And then when he retires, he wants to replace Steve Rabel.
Well, that shouldn't take much, Chip, as the driving part is going to be a whole lot more difficult. Jack, good luck to you in your driving career. Maybe one day after you climb out of the boats, perhaps you'll want to do something like the pictures we're about to see from Boeing Field. Maybe you'd like to fly in one of those. You know you can. The best of the best. The Blue Angels will be performing here over Lake Washington shortly. But first, we've got more F1 racing for you. Heats 3 and 4 coming up when we return.
You're watching the 2015 Albert Lee Appliance Seafair Cup, presented by Hyundai of Kirkland, your official dealer of Seafair on Cairo 7.
Call the plumber.
Oh, stop freaking. I'll call Beacon.
Beacons is the company you can rely on. Once you call them, you'll never, ever call anyone else.
Next time you have a plumbing problem, don't start freaking. Call Beacon Plumbing.
Seafair is a Seattle tradition, still growing after 66 years. At Bartell Drugs, we understand the value of local traditions. When Seafair began in 1950, we had already been delivering great customer service in Seattle for 60 years. We were still innovating in 72 with